Good good afternoon wherever you are, whatever you're doing at this time. Welcome to your Tell It Like It Is show, Hot Topics. How you guys doing this afternoon?
Everybody.
Good afternoon. I'm doing well, thank you.
All right, awesome. And this is your Hot Topics, your Tell It Like It Is show. It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday?
Yes,
It's
it's
Tuesday. Oh my
Tuesday.
gosh, it's Tuesday.
How time flies.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Yep, it
And
does.
I just want to say, Anna, how you doing? How was your? I missed you yesterday.
I missed you too, but I enjoyed the live. I enjoyed the interviews
Yes.
with the Queen. It was quite interesting. The young lady can speak.
She's eloquent and she's
Yeah.
poised and she just, has a
Yes,
vibe. Yeah.
but I missed you too. So I'm here today. So hi everybody, how are y'all doing? I hope y'all gonna call in today because we have a very interesting topic
we
today.
do, we do because let me tell you something. Munkato we go move. It's like every time you turn around, somebody
Somebody,
dead.
it's an RIP somewhere, and SIP somewhere.
I mean, okay, some of them are violence oriented, but a lot of them you have cancer, you have hypertension. But anyways, let's
And
share
then-
some love before we get into that. We'll get into
Yes,
the topic
let's
later.
share some
So
love.
all the folks celebrating your birthdays today, want to wish you a happy birthday, plenty love on your special day. All right, I want to say hi as well, and 18 of the anniversary, folks.
Oh, happy anniversary to all that's celebrating their anniversary. Oh, congratulations to you for another wonderful year. Yes,
Indeed.
yes, yes.
And be it a work anniversary or a wedding anniversary,
It's an anniversary.
and there's this new thing now, another friend anniversary.
Oh, that's the best one. That's actually the best one because these days, do we consider friends?
Exactly.
We have to ask that question sometimes. So if you have a friend that is more than just a year or two or three, and you have friends that's going on 20 years, happy
Celebrate them.
anniversary to you.
Celebrate
Yeah.
them. Celebrate them. All right. Yeah. All right. Today is the birthday of Leon Saint Jean.
Oh, happy
Happy birthday.
birthday.
Yes, and Ruthina Saint John Charles is also celebrating. Brother-in-law Walter Shilling for happy birthday to you. All right, so folks, what we're gonna do is take a quick pause, a little walk. When we come back, we're gonna introduce our guest, a very beautiful and well-rounded lady. But Anna, we're taking a pause, all right?
Yes, we're going to take a pause.
Yes, because we have to let them know about what's happening on Kyrie TV.
Yes, yes, yes.
Right.
Have you heard? Local TV is back. Carry TV is here through Flow Channel 953. Advertise your events, services, deaf announcements, birthdays, and more. Sponsor a program, host your own program, or even have a live broadcast. Contact our sales department at 614-3385 for more details. Carry TV, revolutionizing media in Dominica.
Carnaval Vive! Yes, Carnaval Vive! On Kyrie FM and Kyrie TV. Featuring everything Carnival. Music, events, culture, new music releases, behind the scenes of all the pageants and so much more. It's all on Carnival Vive! Weekdays at 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Right here on Kyrie FM and Kyrie TV. Flow Channel 953. Carnival Vive! On your genuine sound.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kyrie Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need: PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure the success of your special event. Call us today at 612-4050 or 612-1265. Kyrie Sounds, your partner in sound, stage, and lighting services.
All right, 8 minutes past the 12. Welcome back. If you just joined in, welcome aboard. It's your Hot Topics, your Tell It Like It Is show. And today's topic.
To- today's topic, we're going to talk about one of our touchy topics everybody question. It's diet versus our lifestyle. The food that we eat, is it killing us or not? And we have a very lovely lady in studio with us.
Yes, Mrs. Jacinta Fagan Defoe. All right, pharmacist at Jolly's. Good afternoon to you, Jacinta. How you doing?
Good afternoon to you and to your co-host.
And
And yes. I'm doing well. I feel blessed. I feel fortunate to be alive today. We know what's going on in Dominica, and it's very scary. So I must say that I feel blessed to be here today.
I do agree with you. It is very scary because we have a lot of people just dropping like flies.
It's like every time you turn around, it's a RIP there and an SIP here and
something.
You know, so it's just, and you tend to wonder because you see a lot of these people, they appear healthy. You know, they run, they jog, they go to the gym. So what is it?
You know, you still have to question because when you look at them and you see they look like a normal, healthy person, and the next day you hear that this person just died or just fall, just a sudden death, you have to question what is really going on. Is it our eating habits? Is it the fact that we're not staying healthy anymore? Or are we just running all over the place and just picking up a food? And what's really going on? We have a lot of questions to ask to pertain to our diet and how we go about our daily lives.
Okay, so first let me just say that this topic or discussion is very timely. You hit the nail right on its head. Many times you see individuals walking around smiling, seeming very healthy.
Right.
And the next thing you know, you hear of this condition or this disease that this person has been recently diagnosed with. Unfortunately, in most of those situations, sometimes there may be an underlying condition that they may not feel, you may not see it physically, and it's only when something strikes or they feel really unwell or that they go to do a regular yearly routine, probably do some blood tests, physical examination, then something may be detected. This is why it is so important that everyone takes the time to have the annual checks done. You never know what may be going on internally. Sometimes you may have a slight headache or a recurrent headache that you think, okay, I'm probably not drinking enough water, or it's the sun if you're working outdoors, and the doctor sends you to do a routine blood check and something falls out of the normal range. And then with that, the doctor has to do some more investigatory tests. Okay, so one thing leads to the other, and as we all know, early detection is key.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
But we are always advocating for exercising because you spoke about someone you know who's physically active. So don't stop. Continue to do that because this is going to help you to be as healthy as you can, as far as you know, until you do other tests or something else comes up that is out of your hands. Basically.
Let me just say, in terms of you saying that we could, as you said about the headaches and we go for a yearly checkup, let me advocate for the people that can be stubborn sometimes and decide that they don't need a yearly checkup or need to check themselves because they feel that pain in their head, and doctors say that it's just a regular headache that you get, or if you get migraine, and they feel that pressure.
You trying to tell me something?
Yeah, no.
It's hitting home.
It's hitting home a little bit, and you feel that pressure in your neck, and what would you tell them to do when they feel that type of pressure, instead of just staying home and taking a drug and going to sleep and getting up, and you just still feel that pain, intense pain?
She's telling me something.
Maybe I am. Yeah.
So most times when you feel a recurrent pain or pressure anywhere in your body, it doesn't have to be in your head, it doesn't have to be your neck or shoulder area, you need to look into what's causing it. Okay, so sometimes it's nothing to worry about. You may feel stressed out, very I don't know, something is going on in your life at the moment, or you have an exam to do and you feel pressured, and sometimes your body goes into overdrive. You know, you're not drinking enough water, you're not sleeping, you're not eating properly, and you may get that headache. But let's say on a normal day-to-day routine, you are doing everything, well, as far as you know, on par.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And for whatever reason, you're feeling that recurrent pressure, your neck area, your head, different areas of your head. You may feel that extra pressure even behind your eyes as well. You may feel that.
Right.
Come in. If you don't want to go straight to the doctor, we are available. Pharmacists. Yes. Okay?
Really?
Yes, so you can speak to your pharmacist.
You see, this is something new to me because I mean, I only go there for medication purposes. Right. So I get my medication, I go there and still ask a little question every now and then, will that pill affect me because the doctor didn't want to say it, Right. I did not know we could just come in.
Right. So you can come in, free consultation. Please take advantage of it.
I hope you all are listening. Take advantage of it.
Yes, at Joyce Pharmacy. So you come in, you speak with us, you express your concerns, what you've been noticing. If it is that we need to take your pressure, your sugar, right there, we do that. And if based on what you have explained and the length of time you have been experiencing those symptoms, we will advise you to seek your doctor's evaluation.
That's very interesting.
Yes, but another thing I want to note, try to be as transparent and as honest as possible. Right. I know there is always a fear, what if? Right. I hope it's not this. I don't want to be on medication. I don't want to go and do blood test or have doctors, send me to the hospital. No. I have my bills, I have my children, I have my work. I cannot.
That
right?
Part, and people don't want to spend too much money.
I know somebody like that.
No names calling. Right, but it is very important because if you ignore those signs, your body is so
intricate.
It's so intricate, so complicated, but your body sends signs when something is wrong. And if you continue to ignore it or take painkillers just to mask that pain, someone is blinking their eyes.
A little guilty here.
You are not addressing the underlying cause of it. Take some time to address the cause. Take some time to address your health, because as much as you love your job, I mean, you ladies are doing such a fantastic job.
Thank you.
If you are sick, and you are sent on sick leave, then you won't be able to come into your work. Right. You won't be as productive. Right. Imagine you're doing this interview and your head is pounding. You understand? And it's Eric.
I'm not telling you people my business.
And it's a recurrence. There's something causing it, for sure.
I get you.
Now, you mentioned okay, so you spoke about doing your regular checkups, etc., etc. How about does a lot of the situations that we encounter, the illnesses, etc., etc., would you say that it has to do with our eating habits?
Most certainly. Okay. In fact, I know part of the discussion is about the entities or CNCDs, as chronic non-communicable diseases. I will get into your question shortly, but I just want to give a fact. Okay, so this was noted last year, September, by WHO, World Health Organization, that there are 41 million deaths per year due to NCDs.
Wow.
Right?
41 million.
That's a lot.
Yes.
41 million.
Yes.
There's people dropping every day.
Because population is just a little...
That's correct. Right, so that's worldwide. And it is attributed to CNDs. The four major groups: cardiovascular disease, cancer, respiratory diseases, and diabetes. There are others, but those are the 4 major types of CNCDs. And if you just listen to them, cancer, diabetes, respiratory, cardiovascular,
you also see on people's statuses a lot and on Facebook and everything. Cancer sucks. You know, it takes so many away from people.
Yeah. And a great majority of individuals diagnosed with those conditions are due to their lifestyle and diet habits. There have been individuals who come from a family line of diabetes, hypertension, cancer, and unfortunately, they still do not take heed in terms of lifestyle practices and their eating habits. That has a major role to play in our health. And if we do not take heed right now, I mean, it's the statistics are very scary, and they should be eye openers to all of us. Back in the days when you heard of people being diagnosed with diabetes, hypertension, cancer, it was of the older folks.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
But right now, as young as we are, people
And
are
younger.
being
Younger.
people are being diagnosed with those type of conditions. And let us not forget other practices. So overconsumption of alcohol, tobacco, smoking, sedentary lifestyles.
Can I interrupt you for a minute?
Yes.
What do you consider an overconsumption of alcohol?
Okay.
Okay.
That's a very good question.
I need to know, because for Carnival, we kind of
For Carnival.
Yes, I was just about to say it's not just Carnival.
Independence.
you know, we kind of just
the odd weekend.
over.
So,
just
for
what
some
do you
people,
consider?
they don't wait for those festive events or occasions. It's almost every
Every day.
weekend,
Yes.
every day. No, every day as
Every
well.
day
Every
as
day,
well.
every
You
day.
understand? But what they say is that for men, it's 2 drinks per day. For women, 1.
Okay, so we're talking about what alcohol volume?
Yes, consumption on a daily.
No, but what percentage?
In terms of what?
Okay, so say you said 2 alcoholic beverages, but
Right. So let's say 2
Depending-
beers. Let's say 2 beers.
Okay,
We're going to
all
make
right.
reference to beers. Okay? So that's one of the most commonly drunk alcoholic beverages.
yes.
Of course, different type of alcoholic drinks would have higher percentages, different percentages of alcohol.
Yes.
But I mean, it's using your discretion. So let's say you're out enjoying yourself. You're at an event, right? And you have 1 Caribe, a Shandy, Guinness. I don't know all the names. Forgive me.
Yeah.
But that occurs every week, every weekend, to the point where you're so out of it, you don't even know where you are. You don't know what you're doing. Your friends probably have to, physically carry you home.
Yeah.
You cannot drive or whatnot.
Right.
At some point, your kidneys are going to start suffering. Your liver is going to start suffering. Your entire chemistry is going to start suffering. You may not see the effects at once. I mean, it may take months, it may take years. But imagine adopting those practices on a regular basis. You're going to spike up your sugar levels. You're going to put yourself at risk for high blood pressure.
Right.
That all ties into increased risk for cardiovascular disease. Your heart has to be pumping even harder on a daily basis. And then let's remember, we're not consuming as much water. Okay? Now remember, alcohol, when you consume it, it eventually is converted into sugar. So that is why you will have that spike in sugar. So go ahead.
So basically, you're trying to tell me that I have to, for the lovely ladies that like their wine, twice a day or morning, 3 times a day, we have to cut down on our intake on.
I would highly advise that,
okay.
Especially.
Just making sure. I mean, it's wine.
But what about the antioxidants in the wine and in the whiskey?
Yeah, there we go.
They have health benefits.
I think I think you're trying to look for an excuse to continue to consume the amount. I mean, yes, wine made from grapes and whatnot, you know, but I mean the level of alcohol I think would also supersede the level of antioxidants. There's only so much the level of antioxidants can do in a glass of wine, you know. Okay, so with that being said, discretion is key, responsibility is key. You know, we all want to party, to have a happy life, a long life. I don't know if you all have children, but you know, if you do, you want to be able to see them graduate, have them move out of your house and so forth. But then, do we really want to put in that extra work, or be so cautious as to cut back to prevent long-lasting detrimental health effects? We really have to sit down and ask ourselves, because I started back on my exercise routine yesterday. Is it fun to be in pain? No. You know, your muscles aching you.
I can imagine your pain right now.
Listen, she went back to exercise. I did the Saturday opening, and I'm still in pain. And it's been a while.
So that should be that should be how should I say it, encouragement that you need to continue. Whenever there's a gap in an exercise regimen, you will feel the effects of it after. But if you are consistent, you will reap many benefits, and that also incorporates, you know, stronger muscles, bones. It helps you mentally, not just physically, that is mentally as well. You feel energized, you feel healthier, and even better if you're on a weight loss journey. I mean, come on, you know.
I lost 32 pounds.
Right, so it's a lot to think about, but if you really want to have that healthy life, there are some sacrifices you need to make.
Okay. Now we have some comments here coming in on Facebook, and Shani is saying, true, but persons have a fear of what they might hear, and that triggers more symptoms. It causes stress, and stress causes more illness.
Okay. All right, so that's a very good comment, Shani. That's the name? Right. It brings me back to the point I made earlier as to why some people prolong or procrastinate, you know, going to the doctors or to the pharmacist to explain any symptoms they may be experiencing. And let's face it, we are humans. Right. We don't like bad news. I don't know of anyone who likes to hear.
We don't.
Who likes to hear.
So I think that's one of our fear of going to the doctor.
Exactly. But what I say to individuals who have this anxiety is early detection is key. Remember, I mentioned that earlier. Yes. And something I don't know how much of it that our doctors do, but well, in their studies and practices, they are trained to deliver bad news. Right. After a diagnosis, what should be done is taking some time to really walk through what exactly is the diagnosis, what to expect, the treatment options, the do's and don'ts, and reinforcing the fact that it's not a death sentence, especially for diabetes, hypertension, and so forth. I know we don't like to hear we have to cut back on certain types of foods. I was just about to interrupt her. And I mean, it's understandable. You know, some people who are stressed out, they resort to food as their comfort.
Right. Yes.
You understand?
A nice bowl of ice cream.
Right, that's correct. Yeah. But being told that, hey, right now you have this condition, you are no longer allowed to have this group of foods in such large quantities. You're going to have to start on this medication regimen. Your activity level needs to now be increased. And like I said, it's so much harder to start on an exercise regimen. But support is so very important. You know, go ahead. Continue.
To interrupt you, I'm so sorry. But I just have to bring up this point. In terms of when you said large quantity and then you have to cut down, I know a few people that would say me and a cutting down, God will provide. He will take care of me.
yes.
You understand?
God will take care
of it. I can eat all the food that I have been accustomed to eating. I know that you say the support system is one of our vital points, that we need that support system when we're going through certain things. But how do you tell someone that they have to deal with having diabetes and they knew for a fact they were fine, they're eating fine, they've been eating healthy? You understand? You have people that stick to their diet, to healthy foods, and yet still they still end up getting
so you
the diabetes, but they don't want to cut off certain foods. How do you deal with telling someone or being a support system to someone that has these illness and trying to get them to eat the right set of things?
Okay, but correct me.
I'm interrupting myself. I did say they were eating healthy, but they still get the diabetes.
Okay, so if what do they consider as eating healthily? Because many of us have this misconception that if I eat a large bowl of fruits, that is healthy. There's another saying: too much of a good thing is a bad thing.
Okay.
Fruits are very healthy. That's a fact.
Yes.
Antioxidants, Vanessa, of your antioxidants, but they also contain sugar.
Right.
So certain types of fruits, let's say bananas, pineapples, watermelon. Remember when watermelon was in abundance, we overindulged in it. They also contain large amounts of sugar.
That's what I wanted.
Now, we have this customary practice that our dish has to be the biggest dish in the house.
A basin of food.
That's correct. And if it is not filled with all different types of food dishes, that we are not satisfied, we are not eating, to our heart's
desire.
Desire.
Let me just pause you there for a second. Let's take this call. Good afternoon, Hot Topics, you're live. Oops. Let's see here. Where are you? Good afternoon, Hot Topics, you're live.
Yes, good afternoon to all on the show.
Good afternoon to you.
I have a question. I'd like to ask questions because when I see something, I ask questions.
Of course.
And listen, the question is bold, but it's not a personal question. Why is always a woman on the show to come and tell us about health care and all of that? Why is I see the trend that it's always a woman to come and tell us about health. Where are the men? Are there no men available, qualified to do that? I'm asking a question. And I have another one. I observe on your show, your talk show, it's only women. I think Vanessa and Anne, there should be a man to hear it from the man's voice. It's that, the show is just geared towards women. Let's mix it up a little bit, because when women are not included in certain things, they complain and they shout and they have all kind of emotional impression. So I would like to hear it from the voice of a man.
Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you.
All right. Well, caller, I must tell you that we have had a male guest on, and we are going to be having more male guests on in the future. You know, so I think your point was you were a little off there, because we have had male guests. I mean, you are a constant listener to the show, so yeah, don't go there. All right. So we're going back.
Yes.
Iso, thank you. Iso says that's a very sexist question. Thank you, and he's proud of us. All right, go ahead. You were saying before we took that.
Right. So it's traditionally we are used to large plates, large quantities, and that is a major issue and plays a major role in how much we consume and the effects on our health. You never realize when you're finished eating that heavy plate, you're lethargic, you don't want to work again, you just want to lie down.
Let's say the language you can understand. Why I like a snake? And then they tell you
Nigger is kicking in.
Exactly. It means your body, your digestive system now is in overdrive to break down all what you have ingested and get it through the system. This is why it is also recommended to eat smaller, more frequent meals in a day rather than 3 large meals. And I will get back to your question, Anne. But as the Vanessa interjected, and then nighttime, your last meal, which is supposed to be the lightest meal of the day, because remember you're going to lie down, should not pass 7-8 o'clock at night.
Why?
So you said I shouldn't go to dinner. I shouldn't go on a dinner date then.
No, why?
Like I said, your lightest meal. Now, if you're going to dinner, remember this. It's not every night. I mean, that is understandable. There's also a cheat day in the week that is understandable. You're celebrating something wonderful, but on a regular basis.
Yes.
On a regular basis, you should not be consuming heavy meals at night because, again, you're at rest when you're sleeping. And that means that's extra pressure, extra work on your digestive system. Okay, so let me go back to Anna's question. So someone who has been recently diagnosed, correct me if I'm wrong or if I don't remember your question correctly. How do you
support? How do you give them that support system to let them know that they're eating too much? But you practically halfway answer the question, especially with the fruits. You understand? Because as you said, it doesn't matter how much fruits that they intake, eating healthy with their fruits and whatnot. The fruits have sugar.
The fruits have yes.
You understand? So I really wanted you to say that part.
Yes,
because
definitely.
they eat a lot of healthy fruits and their meals, but it's more fruits. They feel like when they eat the fruits, they're not intaking too much sugar.
Right, and
but no matter how much I try to say that,
but there's sugar.
There's sugar. There's a lot of sugar. In the fruits.
Right. I mean, I know of someone who would eat 3-4 bananas in a day, and it is a fruit, yes, but banana contains a lot of sugar, and there are different sizes of bananas as well.
Right.
So the smaller ones would be a better option than ingesting the bigger ones. Again, we love our ground provision.
Yes.
Yes.
Dashing and sweet
John, look, I'm waiting.
However, they contain carbohydrates. And starch, and so if you overconsume them, and I say overconsume, I'll get into what is advisable or better amount to consume on a daily basis. But if you are to consume them, a big plate of dashing and yam and green fig and sweet potato and all of them in one dish, you have your little garnish of vegetables. I wouldn't even say a dish garnish. You know what I mean? Sprinkling.
Just to say,
just to say, eat some
vegetables on there. But no.
But even with that, it's a terrible practice. If you want to eat your ground provisions, okay, green fig, maybe 1 green fig or 2, because some of them are relatively small. Sweet potato is actually a very good option, especially those suffering with diabetes. Right, slowly digested, and even though it is quote unquote sweet, it's not as damaging as probably yam and dashing and so forth. So if you are to have a portion of your ground provisions, probably a slice of each of them. Right. If it's one type, if it's breadfruit by itself, 2 small slices, but don't overdo it. I'm stressing on overconsumption.
But
yes, we love it, but we really need to start seriously thinking about the portions.
But listen to the typical Dominican. They will go to restaurant so and so. They will go to restaurant so and so, right? And then they will tell you, see the little bit of food they give me. One piece of dashing, one meat.
That cannot fool me. That's not going to fool me. I also wanted to go back on the eating at night. You know,
Like to do that.
the typical Dominicans love to eat at night. We love to eat at night. But you said that our last meal should be before 7 o'clock.
7, 8 o'clock, yes.
Right. So what happens when we get hungry at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock?
You see that there are so many components when we speak about late night eating or snacking, because I'm sure you're aware of so many people suffering from acid reflux, indigestion.
That means you're not supposed to stay hungry. I'm just saying.
No. I'm not advocating for hungry for staying hungry. That's
And I'm
not
looking
what
for an excuse.
I think so. But if you adopt what I was suggesting in terms of eating smaller portions more regularly throughout the day, there should be no need for you to feel that urge or hunger late at night. So you need to get out of bed, cook a big pot of food, fry
In the
some
middle of
chicken,
the-
fry
in the
some
middle of
fish.
I'm guilty of that tonight. We're going to make a broth night time, you know.
No, but you're doing your body more harm than good.
It's like
You
the
have a
stomach
quarrel?
say, I'm hungry.
Let's go to the telephone hot topics. Good afternoon.
Hot topic, Rivernica topic, the world topic.
Us fireman.
Fireman touching base. Good afternoon to members and your guests. One thing you really
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What you really saying there? Rivernica people, they're too greedy and sure, they must take it easy. You cannot be eating dashing and pig and plantain and chicken and tell me at after 7, 9 o'clock or 8 o'clock, you have a serious problem. You really sit for you, acid reflect. Your food is not taking them to digest.
That's
You will
correct.
destroy your immune system.
Okay.
And the engine going to have a problem because too much heavy food for the engine. Who going to suffer? If fireman going to suffer, fireman can never suffer. You that suffer in your business, get it straight. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's a great program. You know, it's really what the sister said. Really and truly, according to them people, right, certain food at night, you just don't have to eat it at all.
That's correct.
Certain meat, certain thing, everything is too heavy. They take too much time to digest.
That's
you have to eat
correct.
something light. And sometimes even sleeping at night, you know, you see that they're turning all over the place. Their stomach heavy. They're
Well,
embarrassed.
of
How can something
course.
happen? You can't tell me after 10 you have a big large pizza, pull up on a stair, eat your whole pizza. You have a problem, die, you're going to die. Get it straight. Killing yourself, Rockstar, let's get it real.
And it's your turn now.
You've been spoiling, but you know, tomorrow to hot. You know, tomorrow hot topic will be hot.
We don't say nothing yet. We don't say nothing yet. We don't telling them yet.
Jump nerve, you will be coming in live.
We don't telling them nothing yet. You're too fast.
Very hot. Buy all the little whiskey, get all the winter vegetable, get all the ITL food, pull up by the table at 12 o'clock before 12 we're running fast and quick. But anyway, great program ever. I know I'm joking at you personally.
Yeah.
Black people have a problem.
All
Well
right.
and truly, that's why I sell a lot of women and carnival opening. All the assets outside and things, but the belly now have a problem. To work at the stomach. Because right now, fellas, woman before you're pregnant, even though they're pregnant, it dates like as they're pregnant. They're not making sense. You know what I'm saying?
But the belly is supposed to be a little bit of a cushion, don't you think?
But
Ribbit. The belly is a cushion.
A little bit of a cushion.
No, the one high up. The one high up is the cushion. That is a serious problem. I don't think, no even man have a big belly, that one that problem there. You know what I'm saying? But well and truly, we are full of life, right? And well and truly, at night, other problem we have again, a lot of people don't take no kind of toxic. That means they're eating everything year in, year out. We need to toxicate, they call it, or they call it a little
Detox.
Stand we need to take a little tisane because, as I say, the way we eating and drinking and doing all kind of crazy things, we need to take a little tisane because, as you know, the body is like a transport. And when all them parts go wrong, is hospital and them ready saying, die people love to die, but they're not killing themselves, we are full of life.
Right.
So as before I roll out, as I saying, love life. In the night, personally, drink a little herbal tea, eat a little light something.
And
So
have a
when you
little
want
winter vegetable.
no, some of them don't like it, but I love it. Bad. You know what I'm saying? It and the empress them. Why them and killing them? I only knew them. But then I did too much of the time.
Yes.
Hot topic, Rivernica people, are you listening? Fireman is getting out your radio. Hot topic, Rivernica topic, the whole topic. Carry FM, nobody can do that. Us up and running. Fireman running best up, take it to the world.
All right, Fireman. Thank you for your contribution. Yes, indeed. Well,
you know, I wanted to touch on something he mentioned. Though.
but before you do, don't forget it, huh?
No, I won't.
Our topics your live. Talk to us.
Yes, I thought to go back. I have a strong back to take it. You know, and I pose questions for throwbacks. I have a question for the nurse, the lady.
The pharmacist,
Do you know why
yes.
the pharmacist, sorry. Do you know why men consume a lot of alcohol versus women?
Do I know why?
No. Yes. Do you know? Yes.
Well, I know that men probably have a higher tolerance level, and because they do it more frequently, that level of tolerance, increases. But do you have another reason?
You're talking about tolerance. You're talking about the intake. Why do they go?
Well,
after
it goes
alcohol?
hand in hand, though.
Tell us what you think.
Well, there are a number of reasons, and you need to hear it from a man. So if you had a man on the show, you could have challenged him on that.
All right.
But
Well,
I'll tell
as
you
you're
one-
calling,
one-
just tell us now.
One view I have is because our mothers who are nurturers don't introduce our males to the doctor for checkup at a young age. They think the male is like, a machine that doesn't break down. At a young age, you need to take your sons to the doctor, just as you would advise the doctors or take your daughters to the doctor for checkup. Take your sons, instill that in them, so when they grow up, they will continue the process.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Well, yeah. He's making a point.
Yes, he is.
You may find that happening because you've. But then again,
I kind of disagree because a lot of mothers out there do treat their boys just as well
As
they
well
treat
as their girls.
I was about to ask if you have boys and girls, you would just take your girls and leave the boys behind.
exactly.
So that
You take the
doesn't
boys
really-
to the doctor. You take them for their checkups. Hot topics, your life.
Hello, good afternoon.
Good
Good
day.
afternoon.
Interested program.
Thank you.
You talked about this sweet potato earlier on, but I think it's how you prepare this sweet potato. You have to cook it without the skin, because when you cook it with the skin, it's much sweeter. So when you cook it without the skin, and sweet potato good for diabetes, it healthy pancreas.
Yes.
For the insulin in your body, it helps.
Okay.
The insulin in your body. So sweet potato, you have to peel it and pigeon peas.
Okay.
It helps.
Well, of course.
But I think it's our diet. Because really,
Yeah.
I have read that 1 pound of sugar is for a family for 1 month. So imagine how many pounds of sugar we're using for 1 month. So, and I think we are sugar addicts also. So I think it has to do with our lifestyle, our diet, because I find a lot of people dying. We don't sleep enough, we don't drink enough water, we don't exercise enough. And our diet, we eat too much of rice and lentils, and lentils have a lot of sugar. Rice has a lot of sugar. We eat too much of the same thing all the time, and it's different than before. The kind of food we eat now and what, our culture, our body had made up, it's different. So I think we need to look at our diet and our lifestyle.
Thank you.
program.
Thank you
Thank
very
you so
much for your
much.
contribution.
I mean,
All right.
this caller brought up so many vital points.
Yes.
I mean, preparation is key to
Indeed.
healthier consumption, because even with sweet potatoes, frying as opposed to boiling,
Yes,
got the
or
difference.
steaming.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. So if you boil it, that's a healthier way to eat. Same thing with chicken. Same thing with fish. So
Yes.
frying, stewing, you understand, baking. All of those have different health values.
Right.
She mentioned about difficulty sleeping. We underestimate the value of sleep so much.
Very much so.
Again, people have this excuse: I have all this work to do. Or they stay up watching TV or series, Netflix and chill.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
But
And then you have the new thing, TikTok, so you get lost on there.
I admire everyone on who does TikTok videos. That's a lot of time consumption. But anyways, but at the end of the day, we are cutting back on one of the most vital practices to a healthier lifestyle, and that is sleep. So many people complain of insomnia, and that's the difficulty falling asleep. And even some, they may fall asleep but have difficulty remaining asleep. So they come to the pharmacy every day and ask for sleep aids. However, if we train our bodies to go to bed at a certain time every night I mean, we talk about the 8 hours. I know many of us may not be able to get full 8 hours, but the quality of sleep is so very important for our productivity, our immune system, our digestive health. And going back to our caller, speaking about the large quantities of food just before you go into sleep. That's why when you eat, I'm going to ask you a question. When you eat a large plate of food, when you wake up in the morning, how do you feel?
Hungry.
Okay. your digestive system has worked so hard overnight.
Right.
When you wake up in the morning, it needs some extra energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right?
I had a morning I got up really hungry. I was like, wait a minute, but I ate last night. What's going on?
Exactly. So it's what you ate and what time. Got it?
Yes.
Caller?
Yes, we do. Hot topics. You're live. Talk to us.
Hello, good afternoon, my Miss Bruder, and good afternoon, Sammy, wherever you are. Good afternoon, my love. And to your guests, good afternoon.
Good day.
Hi, Paula.
Well, great topic.
Thank
The
you.
lady, Sammy, Miss Bruder, who's that young lady talking about the health and thing there? Where she's our?
Her name is Jacinta Fagan Defoe, and she's a pharmacist at Jolly's.
Oh, Dr. Jody, is that fair?
It'll be Dr. Jolly's.
Anyways, what is a good topic? I like your topic.
Thank you.
But I believe we the people need to have train ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
I believe if you balance your breakfast as you suppose, that don't give you no right for you to be with no pain, for you to be feeling for food. Because the doctor said that. I'm a doctor here, it's just be my tail.
Yeah.
Because I myself like to wake up midnight to eat my food too. When I feel hungry, I start to get up in the bed and take them for food.
Yeah.
No, but it's true.
Like a cereal.
But
you try
Vanessa,
to
what you eat when you get up?
You balance. You said that you have to eat properly.
Mm-hmm.
And if you eat properly in the morning time, you eat what you're supposed to. Don't overeat. You have your natural amount you have to eat in the plate. Not a big bowl of rice, not a big bowl of things. And you tell me too, if you try to eat your breakfast at least for 11 o'clock, okay? And then in the daytime, you could go like, it's any amount of thing you want, but try to stop it at 6:30 for the ladies.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could drink water then. And I used to try it before, girl. And I used to lose the weight for true. I used to be in shape.
But you stop.
But then, I just fall again. Okay, the Dominican bad ways in my head. When I wake up at my big chow food, I say, there's a good food that doesn't particularly want it. Because that's my going to a restaurant too, in the beautiful restaurant, they doesn't give plenty food. I tell you that I get my money. I make it nice. Because I like my belly too full. He says it's not food in your belly, that food. That is the problem with our people, and that is why we get sick.
I was just about to say that. You're so
He
accustomed
said
with
because
large
we don't look for
quantities.
quantity, we don't look for quantity, we don't look for quality, and
That's
that's
correct.
the problem.
That's right.
Okay? So people must try to eat like, if they tell you one go through your rice, if you go one is vegetables and things, and you always say to eat vegetables with your food.
Definitely.
All right.
You understand?
Yes.
By the sick, and you say walk, he said he doesn't take it. I mean, you stay away from the doctor. That means you eat properly, walk, exercise, take your sea bath, take your river bath, and you'll be having less trouble to the doctor.
All
That's
right.
what my doctor said to me.
Good stuff. That is great advice.
Okay.
Well, thank you, Paula. Have a great
Thank you,
afternoon.
ladies.
Okay,
All
take
right.
care. Thank you.
Yeah. Somebody on Facebook is asking, are there natural remedies for insomnia?
There is, for example, one second.
Okay.
Chamomile tea. The name I was trying to get. Okay.
Yeah.
Chamomile tea.
Yes. So it's one of those herbal remedies that allows you to feel calm and relaxed.
Okay.
You should be able to get that in certain supermarkets as
Yes,
well.
most
Yeah.
supermarkets.
Or if you get the actual herb, I'm not sure what it looks like, but
It's
you
a
can
pretty yellow
probably-
flower.
right?
Yes.
So you can actually see if you can source that for non-herbal options. There is something called melatonin capsules, and it actually mimics, because we have melatonin as well.
Yeah.
So it actually mimics like the natural body rhythm of falling asleep and being sleepy. And then there are other options as well. But I can also advise this individual and anyone else listening, before going to sleep, so let's say like a half an hour before, try and take a nice warm bath, a soothing bath. Again, try not to be on your phone or computer, laptop, because the lighting, you can actually research it as well.
Yeah.
The lighting, they have found interferes with your ability to fall asleep. We've actually had parents bring in, actually have. You
yes,
can,
Anna. Yes. Yes.
We've actually had parents come in, say, that their child is up at whatever hours, in the night on their phone, their tablet or whatnot, and they cannot fall asleep, and they wake up tired and they're unproductive at school, and it's same thing for work as well. So shutting off all types of electronic devices, getting a warm bath, eating a light can also aid in a very good night's sleep. Now, that is one aspect of insomnia. The other aspect is because many of us suffer with some type of anxiety or depression, or stressed out, or certain a recent situation that has us, constantly, reminiscing about it. That can prevent someone from getting a good night's sleep, even falling asleep. That's why doctors would need to prescribe certain medications that, I wouldn't say forces them, but aids them in falling asleep. So those underlying situations and conditions need to be treated as well. Okay, so it's not just about getting the chamomile tea or getting Benadryl or getting melatonin or whatever other options there are, but what is causing that inability to fall asleep? Is there something going on in your life? A recent breakup, a death, a work situation, a family situation, and until you really get that situation or effect on yourself under control, then those that difficulty of falling asleep will remain,
Yeah, I have a question. Why do people, when they see plus size, big men, men and women, why do people automatically believe that they're unhealthy compared to someone that is slimmer?
I think
it's like a stigma.
It can be a stigma, but you see, millions and millions of people suffer with obesity, and being overweight in itself is actually a risk for acquiring cardiovascular diseases. And I'll tell you why. We talked about the.
Before you say why, what do you consider obesity?
Okay, so there's what you call BMI, so that's body mass index, and based on your height, there is a chart. You can look it up, that gives you what your healthy weight is supposed to be based on that. And so the higher it strays from that normal range, then the higher you're at risk for acquiring all those different conditions, diabetes, hypertension, and so forth. And yes, like that curvy, voluptuous outline or whatnot. But studies have shown, especially around the waistline area, the wider you are, the higher the risk of insulin resistance. So that talks about, the ability of insulin to be able to be taken up by your cells and be neutralized. So that's why many people, even persons suffering with PCOS, they have what you call insulin resistance. So the bigger you are, you have more added fat, you have increased resistance to insulin, and it's like a chain reaction and increased risk to many conditions. But it doesn't mean all the time that because you're slimmer, you're healthier. No, because we have had many individuals that are very slim, but yet still they have other conditions.
Well, time flies when you're having fun. We have the news up next. This is definitely a discussion that we can continue later down. But what?
Somebody said their wife sleeps for 14 hours straight.
Houston, we have problems. Well, Wait a while. Oh, she was asking if people who have liposuction, if it can help with their health. So you will answer me after, and I will post the message in the chat. But we have the news up next. So, folks, thank you so much for joining us. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for, the calls. And Jacinta, thank you so much for being with us.
Pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody, especially our Facebook fans. Thank you so much for all the questions and comments.
All right.
Thank you.
And thank you for coming to our defense, ISO. We appreciate it. Folks, have an amazing afternoon. That's it for us. We are gone.
Bye.
This is Shabin, and you know what I love? The heat on hot topics.
Are you looking for that perfect setup for your conference, seminar, or company function? Or maybe you need a low-budget setup for your party, dinner, or private gathering? How about that professional production for your grand concert, festival, or outdoor event? Kyrie Sounds is here to provide you with everything you need. PA system, stage, lighting, microphones, tents, LED digital screens, generators, projectors, crowd barriers, and more. We also offer free event consultation to ensure